Okay, so we are page
91.
91. Okay, we started 91 yet?
No, I think we finished 90 and we decided to do 91 today.
I just want to note, totally irrelevant to this conversation, but I'm in Detroit now, and in Israel, you have changed the clock, which means now we're only 6-hour difference this coming week. In America, we have not changed the clock, and therefore in Detroit, which clearly was not meant for habitation by Jews, sunrise this week is at 8:03. So the earliest, and it gets later. So it's crazy for davening. Okay.
America was not meant for Jews, so
well, we can. That point may or may not be true, but certainly not at the end of time zones. If he has shown hours in our clock, according to the standard clock. Everybody uses standard clock. And all of our lives are regulated by the standard clock. Till not so long ago, they used different clocks. Even today, there are still shuls, especially among the old yishuv. The famous sundial in Yerushalayim on top of the shul Zaharei Chama in Machne Yehuda, which was once the tallest building in all of Yerushalayim, 3 stories high, is the sundial which is marked in Sha'on Eretz Yisrael, which is also the Arabic clock. The Havri, Sha'on Mizrach, the Eastern clock, which for my life I never was able to understand, but maybe he'll explain a little bit here. He doesn't really explain it very much. He says that the hour of 12 is the time when the sun sets. Which of course is going to fluctuate every day. Our clock and will pay the European clock. It shows noon. This is also gone through several iterations. There was a solar European clock, a local European clock, a regional European clock, which is actually the standard clock because it has time zones as opposed to the local clock where there are no time zones, which we use today. 94, it's going to get to the various different clocks on page 94. The basis of the standard clock. There are 4 principles upon which the standard clock is built. The day starts at midnight. 12 hours after noon starts a new day. Over there, Greenwich, Kava Orach Merkazi, Shel Kadur Haaretz, the 0 meridian, the prime meridian as it's called in English, 0 degrees, 180 degrees Mizrachalo, 180 degrees to the east of the prime meridian is Haskola Sheimamo Kadur Eretz, is the beginning of the day on Earth, which is approximately where the international dateline is, because the international dateline zigzags, so it's not precise. The average noon, since days are not equal in length, noon is based on an average solar day. Solar days have slight fluctuations, very slight. Degrees orech, every 15 degrees length in the earth has the same time zone, approximately, because 15 times 24 should be 360. I'm not sure if that's true.
That's true.
Okay. Since each degree of longitude really has its own different noon time, degrees orech, every 15 degrees should be have a common noon. So, for example, Detroit and New York have a common noon, even though that noon in New York is closer to what is actually midday by the sun, whereas in Detroit it's completely off. I think Atlanta is also pretty far east in the western time zone, isn't it?
Yeah, Atlanta's fairly far west, not quite as far as Detroit.
It's pretty far west, if I recall. Yeah.
But yeah, there's like in the winter, Shabbos comes in earliest is 5 something, whereas in New York it's 4 something.
4 something, yeah, for sure. Okay, so the so the fees are 12 Shearim for Shon Tikni Matzbiah Shas Chatzos Hamutzas. It's like it's the medium. I get medium. The average. That's I'm not sure which word is mean, median, mode. I'm not sure which one it is, but say approximately 7.5 degrees into those 15 degrees. Kabor Chamerkazi says a Zora shows in the middle, the meridian, which is in the middle of those 15 degree zone. Abiyashon Tikni Clock Kador is Sima Arba Zora shows the 24. Time zones. I'll show a technique by Israel shows A Bamud 95. He's going to explain it later on. So 24-hour days are not 24-hour days. Time which passes the Piashon technique from according to standard clock from 1 noon to next noon. And then it'll be 24 hours. It's not precisely 24 hours. Bamud 97. He's going to explain this later on. If I recall correctly, the real solar day is 23 hours and 56 minutes. But I might be wrong about that. The time most based on the inequality of 24-hour days. Even in the prime meridian, it's not necessarily precisely high noon at 12 p.m. We also have to remember technique according to standard clock. Each degree of longitude has its own approximate or average noon time. With the precise time of noon, which is actual high noon, there's great significance in Jewish law. So in order to ascertain the time mincha, va'od, etc. Tashima magim eshasa tzorayim chol yomo shana Rei Bamud 98. So there's going to be a lot of stuff explained in the coming pages. Okay. I'm just going to look at page 98 and see how scary it looks. Pretty scary. Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully by the time we get there, we'll be able to understand it. Okay. Shows manios. So now we're coming to Jewish time. Shows manios. Shows in these clothes by Mishnah Batamur Allah Bichlal. In general, those hours mentioned in the Mishnah, the Talmud, and Halacha, and Api Rov shows manios normally shows manios. Oracha shows manis. The time of shows manis who 1/12 shel hayom. Chachea kamu or shel hayamama yom benigud lalayla. The illuminated time of the day, meaning the day as opposed to the night. Yesh machlokes in the pasuk Doras Hayom. It's a major machlokes in the pasuk how you define a day. Is it from sunrise till sunset, or from dawn to dusk? There's an opinion. There's even an opinion which is totally imbalanced, which makes really no sense, that you go from alosa shachar till shkia, which leads to noon never being at high noon, of course, because it's not symmetrical. Rabbi Feinstein has said, he writes that he has a Masorah which nobody understands. Nobody. That 11:56 a.m. is chatzos, no matter what day of the year it is, and that the days of the parts of the day do not have to be symmetrical. Based on this opinion. That this opinion has to fluctuate. It doesn't fluctuate. It's always 11:56. And when Rabbi Moshe was alive, in his MTJ, the Moshe's Yeshiva, they used 11:56 as chatzos halach l'maisa every single day of the year. After Moshe's, this is what I heard. After his Moshe's nifter, they didn't have the guts to follow this psak anymore, which nobody understood. So they stopped. They went and became more conventional. But Moshe said he had this Masorah from his father. That's how it works. I highly doubt he's going to mention it, but who knows? I'd be pretty shocked if he did. In addition, we have that the length of the day is different from place to place and day to day. And of course, that has to do more with latitude than longitude. Not all with longitude, actually, much more with latitude, completely with latitude, which is that the closer you get to the equator, the less time there is to twilight. And since less time there's to twilight, so therefore, there's going to be a big difference in measuring the shos manis, whether you measure from dawn to dusk or from sunrise to sunset, because the twilight periods are different. So, twilight, the further north you go, the longer twilight lasts, and again, it makes a big difference. Has been additional explanations and illuminations, illustrations. Managed to substantiate the concept of the length of a shas manis b'Yerushalayim. 3 times a year, 3 days a year.
Where you lost you? Where are you reading?
Nosaf was there.
Okay, I got it. Sorry. Yeah, Nosaf was there.
Has been Nosafim b'Urim Amchashas Orach HaShas Manis B'Yerushalayim B'Shlosh Yemim B'Shana. It's going to give 3 days as examples. Pishitas Agro, Pishitas Magen Avraham, Bamud 96. Luchos is money as Richa Vashkia. Luchos is money as Richa Vashkia Mitsuim Ba'almanakim Shel Astronomim. Tables for sunrise and sunset are found in almanacs of astronomers, Yordei Yam, seafarers, Vaviraim. Oh, I never saw that word before. Aeronauts. Have you seen that word before? Aviraim?
Nope.
Okay. Rabim Heim Luchos HaShana, Bahem Mutpasim Zmanei Azricha Vashkia Cholim HaShana. There are many luchos in which the Zricha are listed. Obviously, sunrise and sunset vary from place to place and from day to day. Now, these almanacs, we have the times based on various different latitudes. But there are local phenomena which have an impact on sunrise and sunset based on according to our clock. Of course, that leads us to what we mentioned. I think mentioned last week, the Nates Hanira versus the Nates Astronomy, the seen sunrise versus the astronomical sunrise. By the way, we should mention at this point that even though the word Nates is incorrect, the proper word grammatically is Honates, and the word Nates actually means a certain type of bird. That's how they do with sunrise. I think it's a falcon, if I recall correctly. But nevertheless, in colloquial Hebrew, people talk about the nates, not the ha-nates. Okay? The theory you should have to say, ha-ha-nates ha-chama. And I don't think anybody actually says that, at least not in colloquial Hebrew.
Really?
What?
Nates doesn't come from nitzut, spark?
No. It does. It does. Yes, it comes to that. But it's ha-nates is the sparking. It's not the spark of the sun. It's the sparking of the sun.
Hanatza, hanatza.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
But I'm telling you, and nobody follows. It's kind of like, lashon hara is incorrect grammatically. You know that, right? It's supposed to be lashon hara, but nobody says lashon hara. Everybody says lashon hara. Because that's the way it came.
Yeshiva.
Yeah, yeshiva's right. Okay. So
that's because you don't know how to speak Hebrew.
Yep. So, but this is actually grammatically incorrect. Netzach Chama is grammatically incorrect. All right. So be that as it may. So he's going to give the sheet that's Scotch. He's Magen Avraham, page 96, and we have that different almanacs which have the various different times, which have their local influences, and Re'eh Ba'od Ba'amud 102. Mahmud 104, Mispar saying Luach Tamid is Mani Alos Shachar, Hazir Bashkil Choy Moshe Be Yerushalayim. Luach Hashimshi Aloazi based on the solar calendar, which of course is the way to work it out. Have them is Mani Ben Yerushalayim Ben Tel Aviv V'Chaifa and Amgedolim. They're not big differences between Yerushalayim, Tel Aviv, and Haifa. Ubishulei Luach Nitnu An Chayos Nimtzos Manei Az Yichav Ashkel Tel Aviv Haifa. Maybe Tel Aviv and Haifa. I don't know why it doesn't give a lot, where there actually would be a substantial difference, it would seem. Okay, Zmanei Adlokas Hanos Erev Shabbos and Motzei Shabbos. Kimat Lichbenchi. Kimat Chol Luach Shana Yudi Nogin for saying Zmanei Adlokas Hanos Erev Shabbos Motzei Shabbos. Okay, Mahmud 105 Muva Luach Zmanei Tmidi Avur Ha'arim Yushalayim Tel Aviv Haifa. Fishim Mefarsemes HaMoatzah Man HaShabbos. Didn't know there was a Moatzah Man HaShabbos, but let's assume that there is. Knisas HaShabbos who bang 20 to 40 dakos Libnei Shkias HaShemesh called Ir Fi Minagah. Yushalayim Petach Tikva Nahug Likvaz Zmanei Adlokas Aner Be'erev Shabbos 40 dakos Libnei Shkia. Tel Aviv Bashkia Misacheres B'Yachs Yushalayim Derek Club Dako Shtein, where the Shkia is a minute or two later. Kabuz Mancha Luchas Aner Be'erev Shabbos 18 dakos Achrei Zman Yushalayim. Yilu Haifa Kabuz 30 dakos Libnei Shkia. I never heard of that before. Then Haifa it's 30 minutes. Okay, I think Haifa they also custom is 18 or 20 minutes. All right, but what do I know? Says the Shabbos Nibel 40 dakos Achrei Shkia V'Yeshim Menagim Shlo Bukan. That too is a very big issue. First of all, in Chutz La'aretz, nobody keeps 40 minutes. It's either people are super lenient, say keep 36, and people are more who are lenient but not super lenient keep 42. That's the customary. Another standard is 45, and another standard is 50. 40 is specifically an Eretz Yisrael number, not a Chutz number, and that also is not. It's not a precise number, obviously, because it should fluctuate every day. But they made it uniform and added some Tosefes Shabbos in order that these people should not get confused. Okay, there's a general principle in the Luach where we have afraid of giving people the responsibility for determining times. We build in a fudge factor. What do you do in No Fly Alone? 18 minutes, 20 minutes?
It's a little over 30 minutes.
No. Erev Shabbos.
Erev Shabbos? Lichtbenching was 5:32 and Shkia was 6:00 something, so it's like 34 minutes. I'd have to look at the lose.
Wow.
I don't remember the moment.
Okay, I know there's some machner there. It happens to be that I suspect nowadays, even places like Yerushalayim, the majority of women do not necessarily adhere to 40 minutes. It's a nice thing to aim for. Well, that's fine. What?
In Yerushalayim, the sirens, or at least they used to, the sirens used to go off for candlelighting.
Oh, they go off for 40 minutes, yes. The question is who runs immediately to light candles at that moment. By the way, Muncie, they also go off for 40 minutes. Because Vishnitz Muncie, which does the sirens, has a minute of 40 minutes before Shkia. Okay, it's the beginning of the Jewish 24-hour day in the earth. A problem which has never been determined properly in Judaism, and this goes back to our friends Rabbi Rahamim and Rabbi Sadigon. Where does the Jewish day begin? On earth. In other words, where's the Jewish international dateline? The earth goes around it, acts as a whole rega shokas shemesh kav. Every moment the sun sets in a different longitude. Maschila shami imam Yehudis chadash, a new Jewish day begins. Hamim iskim enehem, the nations agreed among them. Shakav tarich b'mena maschila noses hayamim. The day, the international dayline yabor b'kava orech, goes to the meridian 180 degrees mizrachis of Greenwich, 180 degrees east of Greenwich, or besamuchlo, or near there, based on the zigzags. So Kavlo TV, this is not a natural line, but a line which is done by convention. Among the nations. It doesn't obligate us. especially not in matters of severe halacha, כמו שמירת Shabbos וצום כיפור. רק פסק הלכה של חכמינו רבנינו, I don't know if I've ever seen that way of writing it before. Okay, usually it says Rabboseinu. Okay, Rabboneinu יכול לחייב אותנו can obligate us. שכאמור חכמים חלוקים בעניין זה. There are many different opinions about this. המקומות שלהם נטו של ויכוח, the places in which the dispute applies, ובין כברך 90 מעלות מזרח ירושלים, 90 degrees ירושלים, בין כברך 180 מעלות מזרח, and the line 180 degrees east of, I'm sorry, בין כברך 180 מזרח east of Greenwich, and the international date line. That's not true. Actually, it goes further than that, because it goes between 90 degrees east and 180 degrees east of Yerushalayim. So I don't know what he's talking about. It's not true. Shetan Misteria 157 degrees Orech. It's not true. It's not 57 degrees. It's actually 90 degrees. Okay, but maybe he'll get it. Now, move 106. Muvos Hadeos Haikorios Minos Zebulivui Tashim Mamchish. And I have a chart. Yotzon Vyavo Tishmi Mimhera Vitare It's Kushos Ubayos, and tell us when it really is. Okay, let's do the top of 92, and then we can start for today because then we have a chart.
Rav Kosher has a book, a whole book on Kava.
No, you gave it to me. It's a gift.
I gave it to you? Okay.
Yes.
I have it also.
What?
I have it also.
Well, after you got it
We'll
yourself.
have to learn it sometime.
Okay. Thank you.
I didn't remember I gave it to you.
Okay, and I'll thank you again. It was many years ago. Yemama v'chalakeha. The day and its parts. Me'es leis. That's 24 hours. The Lashon Chachamim mitkufas HaMishnah from the Mishnah Motzim es habitui me'es leis, which means 24 day as opposed to night and day. It's 24 hours, right? Bitui zenim tzak for Arba Mikra. That's already in the Psukim. Yechezkel Dalet 10 of Divrei Yamim Aleph Tes 25. Api Rov Motzim bitui zeh mitzayin bitui zeh 24 hours. She'os ha'maskos l'chol rega shul. 24 hours. It's not at any given moment. Doesn't matter. Not necessarily the universal day. He
doesn't intend to use it.
Yeah, I don't know why not. So I mean, it is using chazal that way. Okay, Yom plus Laila equals Yemama. Yom Ezrachi equals 24 hours. Bavar Shimesh Yom, the day in the past, the concept day was was used both for the light part of the day and also for the 24-hour day. Kasher to Lagisha with the bar, but Yom Balayla says Beferush Kiloshes Yomim Laila Bayim. That's the $16. Arboim Yom Barboim Laila, Rachis 9:12. Bakimek Shishim Shana Kawusa Munach Yemama. Yemama is modern Hebrew. Only 60 years ago. Apiramis Yemama, because I make Yemama with an aleph, which equals Yom. The Tzion Yom V'Layla. The word Yemama is a modern Hebrew word. Again, the ancient Hebrew word is term is Meis Leis. Yom Shvi'i Yom Ezrach, Yom Tivi Yom Ezrachi. Sorry, a natural day and a civil day. Chesamei Aloyu Safai Bris Munach Meidai Matim Liyom V'Layla. They didn't have a madai, sorry. They have a proper scientific term for night and day, or day and night. So they followed other languages, which measure to Yom Tiv'i, so Yom Tiv'i is the natural day, which is the 12 hours or whatever sunlight. Yulai is supposed to be nighttime. Yom Ezrachi, and a civil date, let's sign a day, let's sign Yom Balayla, to connote a day of 24 hours, day and night. We'll show Yemenu, Yemama, but now instead of using Yom Ezrachi, we use Yemama. Okay, I think in order to actually record next time, we're gonna have to take pictures of this and put them together with the recording. Okay, very good. All right.
Okay.
Have a good week. See you next Sunday. Next time is a 7-hour difference again, I think.
You change clocks next week?
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Okay. Bye.